You're British?
Yeah, I'm British.
There is a special woman.
I'm Kamala Harris.
What's your take?
We're on the brink of fascism.
It's Halloween, and we're here in San Francisco because America is, of course, having an election in about 5 days. About 3 months ago, Joe Biden, the 81-year-old Democrat candidate, dropped out of the race after a series of gaffes made it clear that he was suffering from mental decline.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
He's been replaced by Kamala Harris, and since then there have been not one, but two assassination attempts against Donald Trump. 4chan's very own Henry Ford, Elon Musk, has swung behind Trump with lots of money and some quite awkward dancing. And in just the last 48 hours, alt-right Balrog Steve Bannon has been released from prison to fan the flames of anti-migrant rhetoric. So with all that up in the air, we wanted to come to San Francisco to find out what people in this extremely wealthy and often extremely poor city have at stake in this election. And of course, whether or not the Democrats are being haunted by the spirit of Hillary Clinton. We're here for disco phone banking for Kamala Harris.
Truly, the basis of democracy is at stake, and everything that goes into it. What could happen if Trump gets elected is not just somebody you disagree with, is that our freedoms, he's threatening to lock up people. What would happen to women's health? What happens as far as gun control, education, Social Security? Almost every single thing that you can name. It would be on the totally wrong side. And then you have Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, who are the opposite, who support positive and forward-moving and open and inclusive and joyful things. So that they're diametrically opposed.
We had an election in the UK some time ago in July, and there was a real feeling that people were scared of and disgusted, actually, by the Conservatives, who are our sort of Republican Party. But there wasn't a great deal of enthusiasm, like positive enthusiasm for the alternative. Right. And I wonder if you feel positively enthusiastic about Kamala Harris.
That's a good question. I will be honest. I will say that my primary motivation is to stop Trump. And I can't think of anybody I wouldn't vote for if it meant stopping Trump. Having said that, I think Kamala Harris is a good candidate. I don't agree. I don't think she's strong on every issue I believe in, but overall, I think her positions are good. I think she has demonstrated, as particularly since she became the candidate in a very short period of time, that she's very capable of doing a good job as president and supporting causes that I believe in.
The most contentious issue in this campaign for sort of the inside of the Democrat Party, not between the Democrats and the Republicans, but inside the Democrats, is, of course, the ongoing situation in Gaza. Yeah. Talk to us about how you see that, how you understand that. Does that make you waver when you put your X in the Democrat box?
Great question. It doesn't make me waver. I don't like the position of either candidate on Gaza. My feeling about this is that I think the Biden and Harris administration has not done right in Gaza. I think the United States should follow its own laws and international laws and not continue to send arms and money to Israel as it's bombing the civilians in Gaza. Having said that, I think Trump would be even worse, in fact, much worse. He's said very clearly, and he's been very clear, that he's like this with Netanyahu. He's like best buddies, and he's told Netanyahu directly, do whatever you want, we'll support you to do it. I think at least with Harris we have a chance. There's a chance that we can fight and bring an end to this war more quickly.
I hope Kamala Harris win, because you know what? This country needs to be reunited. It's not united enough. They call it the United States of America. But people here are not united. They're too divided. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you about your badge? You've got a badge that says Cosmic Woman. She has the power.
Well, I believe in that mystic powers and stuff. Well, some people believe in God, that a God exists. Some people believe in the Jesus Christ. But I do believe in a special woman that is a super powerful woman known as the Cosmic Woman, because like an old saying, women rule the heavens and the cosmos, space and sign, and I do believe it. There is a special woman somewhere on this earth.
We're at the 16th and Mission here, and if you come to this corner anytime, day or night, you will find a market of people on the edge of absolute destitution selling their wares, which for one night only has got some sort of like roving party imposed upon it. We are British.
You're British?
Yeah, I'm British. We're here to cover the election. We've been upstaged. We've been massively upstaged by this dinosaur.
Wow, this is it, bro. It's San Francisco, dog.
Does this happen often?
Yeah, it happens every day, bro. You can get your best prices down here, but it kind of sucks too, though, for us. You know,
It sucks?
Yeah, for us. I mean, people offer you for a $400 jacket, bro. You sell it for $50, $40. It's like people fuck the market up, you know.
Yep.
So.
It's hard making a living?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the street, I'm doing my thing, you know, but yeah, it's rough, bro.
Yep.
It's always gonna be here, no matter what, you know. It's slimming down. They're trying to house people, but yeah.
What are you?
Oh, I am a poll worker.
No, I didn't get the feeling for it. I was very excited.
Speaks for itself. Just supporting living in a democracy for a bit longer, because it's kind of a nice thing.
Do you worry that democracy is at its end?
I think there's some serious concerns about authoritarian tendencies that might not look like what we imagine it to be, but has a lot of lipstick on. That is really a deterioration in our democratic systems.
Who could you possibly mean?
There's one, forgetting the name. Yeah.
Fine. Is that what you see around you in your life on a day-to-day basis? The kind of the feeling of like the end of democracy happening? Or is San Francisco a bit different?
In California, we're a bit buffered by a sense of a very strong state. I have a lot of East Coast roots, and I work in social issues. I work in civil rights and human rights. And so I think different people have different proximities to the issues and seeing how the actual impact looks. So yeah, if you're in your bubble and you're not actually working with vulnerable populations or close to the policies, it can look like we live in a normal, nothing's changing, but the reality for the people that are being affected by the policies do feel it. I used to work in post-conflict countries, and so I've interviewed torture survivors, and so I take very seriously the precarity of democracy, that it seems very stable, but once it crumbles, it is very hard to get back.
I'm kind of worried. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Orange Man being more likely to win, and that scares me.
Why did that scare you?
Because 2016 to 2020 did not blow over so well, I don't think.
What happened to you? Was there what did you see happen in those years that has made you so worried about the next fall?
Okay, so there was a government shutdown, well, more than one. There was a lot of civil unrest and division. It really stopped feeling like politics, and this was a growing issue before then, but it became self-evident at that point that people were just cheering on it was two sports teams rather than trying to get a leader.
I'm recording hot takes.
You're recording hot takes?
Yeah.
So are we.
Hot takes.
What's your hot take?
My hot takes is everyone should be forced to dress up for Halloween.
Who have you come as?
Hi, I just came as me because I'm amazing and I'm a Halloween costume in and of itself.
We're here to talk about the election, really, but you're also having a party.
Hello, I'm Kamala Harris, and I'm running for 47th President of the United States. Okay.
Right.
Vote for me for president.
I will do anything the big corporations want me to. I'm just a girl from a middle-class family in Oakland, California, and I love my friend Hillary. I love to wear Converse sneakers, so I'm just like all of you at home, so please vote for me.
I'm a piñata.
So you want to be like hit and then things fall out of you?
I mean, I have things if somebody decides to hit me.
Can I hear you?
You have permission.
Thank you very much.
The country in general is like roughly split, right? It's like maybe 51% on popular vote goes to the Democrats every year, like 49 for Republicans. So the reason why you end up with these like elections, even though like Hillary won by 3 million votes or something, it's all the electoral college. But like you have those sorts of pockets in all sorts of different places. But there's very surprising like breaks along political lines these days, right? A lot of traditional states that were Republican for a long time are now breaking blue, right? Like Ohio, Georgia. There's even talk about like Texas like starting to have like more Democratic votes. Like I think it's a reflection of a lot of people realizing where economic issues should be driving their votes.
You think people are increasingly looking at economic issues to drive their votes?
I think people are always looking at that. I think that's a big thing. I think that's going to probably be the most challenging thing for Harris to overcome, right? It's like I don't feel like the Democrats have done a good job playing up their legislative accomplishments, right? The CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Infrastructure Act, that's huge. Like the U.S. is one of the biggest producers of like green as a big category manufacturing. Like it's like a huge industry now. Other countries are struggling to catch up because there's so much manufacturing investment, but like most people don't know that when I tell them that.
I can't believe that we hit you and not only sweets but also very refined takes fell out. It's crazy.
Yeah, cheers.
I'm just like so unopinionated. I'm probably not a good interview, honestly.
You have no opinions about politics?
Not really.
No? How did you come by that?
I just like live under a rock.
What do you do out of that rock?
I write code. Yeah.
What's it like in San Francisco writing code? I hear there are a few of you around here.
Very unique, yeah.
I already voted, actually. I turned in my ballot a few days ago.
And who did you choose?
I voted for Kamala Harris. She has most of my views in line, and so as someone who's like really reliant on public health care, it's really important for me to have those things impacted. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and as a diabetic, it's really hard to survive in this country. For a lot of people, insulin prices can be upwards of $500 a month and other stuff, but she prioritizes a lot of Medicare options, which is really helpful for me.
I saw today that Mike Johnson who's the Speaker of the Republican Speaker of the House, was saying that he was going to overturn Obamacare if he got in. Does that make you worried?
It would be tough, yeah. I haven't looked into it too much, but yeah, anytime that something like that is a problem. Luckily, I'm on Medi-Cal, which is state-funded and its own state-based insurance program. So California just recently is passing a bill that permanently funds Medi-Cal through the future. So even if that does impact, as long as I'm a resident of California, I'll still have something to help me out. You know what I mean?
You basically got socialized healthcare, but in one state.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So California has its own form of socialized healthcare if you're below a certain threshold of income. And so my family's been below that and so on and so forth. So I've been below that and it works out. Yeah.
I am Tampon Tim. I am a huge Kamala Harris supporter. Tim Wall, he gave out tampons in all restrooms when he was governor in the state of Minnesota. And the Republicans made a joke about it and nicknamed him Tampon Tim as a put down, and this is a reclaim. Like, fuck yeah, he gave out tampons in all the bathrooms. So I dressed up as him, and I'm giving out party favors to everyone, tampons, and it's been really interesting because people are pretty women are pretty psyched.
At stake in this election, lots of things about like women's rights and lots of abortion issues in lots of different states are on the table. Are you worried about Donald Trump winning?
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Like, of course. What the fuck would you think? We're on the brink of fascism. So, but it's not a problem because Kamala Harris is going to win because I believe humanity is better than this. Right.
Did that work last time there was fascism?
know that it's going to work now because we've evolved.
So San Francisco has something pretty unique, which is that it has entirely self-driving taxis. This one is run by a company called Waymo, part of Google, and we're going to go and get it now. Thank you very much. I think what we've seen tonight with our party goers is that the Democrat Party has become a sort of party of vibes, a party of more or less anything goes. It's the party, as Christian Lorenz wrote recently in the London Review of Books, the party of genocide and the party of the ceasefire, the party of the landlord and the renter, the party of the indebted and the creditor, and so on. It's become a sort of a vague, capacious, vast tent of a party that is opposed only to Donald Trump's also similarly vast tent, although, of course, his vibes are very different, much more exclusionary. But his performance style, his capacity to be incredibly entertaining has meant that he has become seemingly a sort of a non-president, a president that you would vote for, but in the same way that you would vote for the continuation of a particularly interesting TV show. After San Francisco, we're off to Detroit, to a movement called the Uncommitted Movement. In the primaries for the Democrats, where Joe Biden was an absolute shoo-in, everyone knew he was going to win, they elected not to vote for Joe Biden, but instead to be uncommitted, so to simply not vote for any candidate at all, on the basis of Joe Biden's incredibly intense support for Israel. The question we're going to ask them is it possible to get out of that position once you're in it? If Trump wins the election, then they get blamed. If Harris wins the election, then they haven't really done anything.
The Democratic Party's leadership has alienated and disillusioned so many voters who are central to our Democratic base by supporting this murderous policy that sends bombs to kill children in Gaza. Of course, I want Vice President Harris to win over Donald Trump, but I think our best way of doing that would be if she changes her policy.